Right, okay. Where is it? You take a potato, unpeeled, you dunk it in oil, chuck it in the oven till it gets crispy. You take it out, slice it almost in half, and put some beans and top and cheese. Interesting. So you just dunk it in oil and then chuck it in the oven. Yeah, I think it's kind of like a baked potato. I don't know if we baked potato or if we dip those in oil. I'm not a great chef. It sounds good though. Let's see. So you hear about all the crashes, no problem. Um, it's just for some reason there's certain things in Unity that just takes up all of our memory or something. I should probably read the errors so I understand what happened. Well, hopefully we didn't lose too much progress. I believe I saved everything. VRAM maxed? Yeah, it's probably something like that. That happens. Jacket potato is a baked potato, yeah. Oh, okay, so it is baked. Okay, I see. I see. So we just all call the same things like slightly different. We also have what do we have here? We have Ruffles chips for like potato chips, and you guys have Walkers, I believe. Walkers chips. My parents, or sorry, my mother shops at the UK store. We have a UK store. We tried Spotted Dick. No. What is that? Interesting name. Jungle entrance. Jungle area. Jungle area entrance. Okay, let's hope that this doesn't crash on us. Wait, where the hell is the dungeon? There it is. It's dessert. Oh, right on, right on. What is it though? Like, what kind of thing is it? Hey, what's up? Hey, Diggs, welcome to the stream. Hope everything's going good. We just got back from a crash, so we had to restart, but we're just working on some game dev. Gonna fix some glitches with game over screens. In my opinion, Spotted Dick is vile. What is it? I get like doesn't sound like ice cream. Never tried it. Oh, I guess I have to let these guys kill us. So the issue we're having, I have to find like a good open area. So let me just see here. Okay, that's probably foggy enough. And we'll set our respawn by talking to the statue. Respawn is set. So just let these guys kill us. Do the dialogue. Okay, so last time I did this, oh, maybe it fixed. Was there no glitch this whole time? So what was happening before was the game over screen was staying loaded. And then when we loaded back in, when you looked into the distance, you could see the game over text. So I'm just going to find the player. And I'm going to just like try to like let's grab these puzzle doors. Yeah, so you can see in the distance there's something out there in the distance. And when we move our screen around, it moves. So that's the game over screen. And I believe that's attached to the player. Here, I'll Google it. What is Spotted Dick? I'm going to Google this in incognito. Just in case this is a trick. Spotted Dick dessert. Oh, it's steamed pudding. I love steamed pudding. With suet and dried fruit and often served with custard. Okay. It looks good, but I'm not sure. It's got a weird name. Not sure if I would Not sure if it's something I would order. Dried currants. Subtle hint of sugar with orange and lemon zest. Interesting. Wasn't sure if you guys were messing with me. Okay, let's see. Let's open up the player. So we have the game over cutscene right here, and the canvas is just not getting turned off. Simple as. Simple fix. Just got to go into game over cutscene here. Open up the prefab. I think it's a timeline, so it gets turned on here. And then we wait for input, and then at the end, oh, nothing happens here. We got to go into player manager to edit this, because all the things get hooked up or connected in player manager. So we can see now that the timeline will have a different ending here. It respawns the player, and all we want to say is canvas. Or I guess the canvas is not what's the problem. We want to say panel and text turn off. And hopefully that works. What if you went to a restaurant, ordered spotted dick, and then shortly after, shirtless waiter comes to you without any food or trays? I'd be like, I think this is the wrong restaurant, my bad. Okay, we got the respawn. Okay, let's go over here, and we'll turn off these two walls again. We just look down the hallway, and we can see it's all fixed. So there's no thing. But what we got to check now is we got to make sure, like, when we die again, it's not going to be an issue. Oh. Well, they're not supposed to be there. So that's another bug we just discovered. Make sure to come back to the restaurant the next day. Yeah. Should I check some of the country's food, non-UK? Some of my country's food, Lithuania. Shit. What happened? Did we freeze, or is it just... Start of game over cutscene has been invoked. Game over cutscene timeline. What happened? It's frozen at the start. Oh, I that was confusing. I'm gonna try that again. What is a Lithuanian dish? What's like your top favorite Lithuanian? Lithuanian. I don't even know how to spell that. Lithuania. Food. Fried breadsticks. Cepalina. Kabinai. Plenty. Got some images open. Looks pretty good. I don't know what this is. It looks like a bunch of cut open pears. Potato pancakes. Hell yeah. Looks like hash browns. Love those. Lithuania cuisine features products Suited to cool and moist northern climate of Lithuania. Barley, potatoes, rye, beets, greens, berries, and mushrooms. Right on. Lots of potatoes. Cepelini. Literal translation, zeppelins. Potato dumplings with grated rice, or from grated and riced potatoes stuffed with ground meat. That looks fucking good. Yeah, fried bread with cheese and garlic. Yeah, that looks good too. I like the Zeppelin thingy, Zeppelina, or however you say it. Zeppelini. Those look good. Oh, I think that's what the things I thought were pears. They're just like cut open potatoes. Pink and red soups. Oh yeah, I see the pink soup. Pink soup, eh? Never seen pink soup before. My family, we just eat a lot of potatoes, really. Childhood food? Hell yeah. Our character's supposed to be dead on the ground. Why is he standing? The camera is a little bit off. We fixed the other thing, but they all try. They're trying to get. They still have the target, but they're targeting the waypoint before. Or sorry, they're targeting the player's waypoint when he spawns for some reason. The HUD's not disappearing the second time we die. That's confusing. That's confusing. Yeah, I think I grew up with like typical like kind of British stuff in a way, or like just Irish Scottish kind of deal. Like we have British curry. I mean, we don't call it British curry, but I'm assuming it's British. Like, or it's like it's not like super hot. It's just like a curry. We have very thick drink. Thick drink. What is thick drink? Just like cream. It's viscous. I see. I'm assuming it's like heavy cream or something, right? Look up Kisilowis. I I apologize for the pronunciation. I'm never going to be able to get those. I can barely pronounce a lot of like English words. I used to have a speech impediment. That's probably why. I used to not be able to pronounce the R stuff. So I would say like wabbit instead of rabbit. This actually looks really good though. What is it's made out of berries? Oh, it's like cranberries. Is it cranberries? Some type of red berry. Sweet fruit, berry, grains, peas, or from milk. It belongs to a group of cold solidified desserts. Interesting. Oh, it is cranberry. Yeah, that looks good. You can have cherries too? Hell yeah. Cherry sound, yeah, I think I would like the cherry version the most. Okay, so I'm gonna load this in, but I'm going to like have the inspector open so we can get a better look at like what's happening here, especially with the timeline. I'm a little confused why it's um resetting odd. Why we don't get the respawn the second time? Because it should just go to the end of the cutscene and play on cutscene end. Once I made that drink so thick that I had a spoon stuck in it, damn, it's pretty much solid. Damn, dude. that point, it's not much of a drink anymore, eh? It's like a sockwid. Do you guys remember that ad? I think it was like a fast food commercial ad. They're talking about one of their desserts, and they made up a word called sockwid. It's not solid, it's not a liquid, it's in the middle somewhere. Okay, let's see if this works. So we die, we get here, we hit E, go, hit E again. Cutscene doesn't go, but the player is also invisible now. Where's the player? Player's still dead. So what happened? Clearly the respawn for the cutscene went off, so we can tell because the timeline's over here. We can tell that it's gone to the end. We hit play here. Still doesn't refresh us. So what? WTF? So respawn player, player manager respawn player. Let's open up the player manager and have a look at that. There must be something off. Fuck. I mean, it's okay. It's okay. It's like, damn, something that was good is now like bad. I'm gonna have to rework this whole thing probably. There's one little thing that's making it not work, so we're gonna have to rip it apart. Respawn player. Exit dev camera. Okay. If status respawn waypoint is not equal to null. Or statue respawn waypoint. Else this. We could be losing track of the level manager. The max health is dead and neutral. Let's open up the character. Character handler. So we are still dead. You got curd snacks? Curd snacks. Curd is like that cheese stuff, right? That's like the squeaky cheese. I've had the squeaky cheese before, but it was convenience store curds. So it was still delicious, but probably not the healthiest. So respawn player. If that's not going off, the only thing I can think is that we're getting some type of error here. So let's just let's stop the simulation and add some debugs. Debug.log entered respawn function. There we go. Copy this, and then we'll have this entered character reset part. And here, I think the level manager. We'll say if level manager is equal to null. We're gonna say level manager lost connection. Level manager reference lost. And we'll also say like function ceased. The winner is meta B. Hope everyone gets that reference. It has curd, poppy seeds, and all dunked in chocolate. Hell yeah. Yeah, I like my family likes cheese. We like cheese. Eat a lot of cheese here. I don't eat as much cheese anymore, but there's always like 3 or 4 blocks of different types of cheese in the fridge. Everyone loves their cheese. We don't eat a lot of curds though, but I have had those and they are really good. Dipping those in chocolate with poppy seeds sounds even better. You ever had fondue? Have cheese or chocolate fondue? That shit's the best. You just dip things in chocolate. where you dip things in cheese. You don't dip it; they order it like that. Oh, okay. So it's just like covered in chocolate. Sounds good. Okay, let's see what the output for this is. Oh, there is a an error. Hold on, what's that about? Um, has something to do with the animancer. That's completely irrelevant. Okay, so we're gonna hit E one more time, and nothing happened. With poppy seeds inside? Hell yeah, sounds good. Wait, did those functions even get called the first time? What the hell? I think we have a serious bug in the code. Gonna clear all this. We gotta get rid of this skill reset thing. It's spamming the damn thing. Okay, there we go. Entered respawn, entered character reset, function ceased. The winner is Metabee. Ending cutscene. Okay, so we had it runs. Oh, we have to fix that attack range too. This interact shouldn't be up here. It says carry the jungle explosive bug. That shouldn't be like that. That could be messing with it. But the function doesn't get called at all. The timeline plays. These don't get reset. So for some reason, we're not. Could be in cutscene control. Okay, we gotta open it up manually. Cutscene manager control. Invoke on cutscene end. So this gets called when timeline is stopped or yeah, when it's stopped. And has invoked cutscene has invoked ending equals false. Oh, no shit. So this is a bug that we why did I put that? We put that recently because of skipping. So what we need to do is we have to have this set back to false when we restart, if it's replayable and we restart it. So that's got to go here. And has started should be equal to false as well if it's already played. So let's go to check if playable. If has played is equal to is not equal true, return true. Else, if replayable, set it to return true, but has played should perhaps be true again. Or false, because we're replaying it. Um, and then it should invoke the prior thing. So hopefully that doesn't screw up too many things, too many systems. That's why I was kind of like I said fuck, because whenever something excuse me, whenever something works the first time but it doesn't work the second time, like it can be a little annoying because it means something we did isn't getting triggered, and then we've built the whole system on top of that. We built all these other cutscenes, so hopefully they all work when they're reloaded into the game. I think I'm making mountains out of molehills though. It just makes me paranoid because we have so many different cutscenes that are running, like in every scene, every time something happens. That's important. So I hate having to change that. I hate finding fundamental bugs, like like fucking like 300 days into development, etc., etc., etc. There we go. Now the whole thing's not working. WTF? Why? Has started, has played. Invoke cutscene at end. I must have said that wrong. If it's equal to false, I said it's true in here. That was a. Wait, hold on. What? It's equal to true. Has invoked, so we it's equal to false. Then we set it to true, so it doesn't double go. Okay, yeah. So this has to be false. What was I thinking? No shit, it didn't work. All right, kill me. Take my life. Oh, you're kidding me. As soon as I tell them to do it, they won't do it. Attack range needs fixed. And now he's dead, like he's actually on the floor like he's supposed to. I'll not let you fall. Boom. We need to add some particle effects to that and fix that camera work. It shouldn't be like flying over there, it should just teleport. And we need to fix this, whatever this bug is. Alright, take my life. And like, look at that, like he's actually falling over. Like I didn't even know, I don't even know what the hell I did to fix that. And there we go. Life taken, revived. They're trying to go and spawn camp us because they're going to where we respawn. Just let them kill us again. I also need to make it so that when we set this shit on fire, it should be like, it should damage everything around it. That's another bug I have to fix. And he did not explode on death. That needs fixed as well. Confused why he didn't explode on death. I need to test that on this guy. Maybe it was because of the fire damage. Well, that's bust. Fix one bug, another bug pops up. 'Tis the life of a game dev. What's going on, Jungle Bug? Despawn is blank. Well, no shit, it didn't work. What is... Let's find the reference for them. Jungle Bug Explosion 10. They're also turned off. What? How did I have that before? Okay, now we gotta go test out the boss fight, the mini boss fight. I think I screwed some shit up. Game dev is just bug hydra. You feel 1 in 50 come up in its place exactly. That's 100% what it is. It's just bug hydra. Okay, let's teleport the player. So we'll pause. And by teleport the player, I mean drag his ass over here. I really like this boss fight, so I'm gonna be upset if it's broken. I mean, it's easily fixable, but if I did something that requires it to be remade again, that's gonna be frustrating. And we'll check our character handler. We're neutral. Get the cutscene of the bug's mouth. That needs to be. That's a little jarring. It kind of takes control of our camera a little fast. It should really like maybe zoom into the enemy and then come back. And then we have this piece. I'm gonna have to make some function for the camera returning so it doesn't like look at our face. It just returns where it was. Oh, their whole AI is broken. So I'm gonna throw him and see what happens. Nothing happens. That's a problem. I don't know if I just have to add to the despawn or if I had a different system. Oh, even he's bust. Okay, yeah, that's because of the tactics being changed. So we used to have it that... what the hell is this? Oh, that's because their skills are blank. We used to have it that you can throw the bugs and they blow up when they hit the ground. And then you can throw them into the bite bloom behemoth, which is that giant plant with the teeth. And it would do explosion damage. So what time is it? 8:14. We got to get that back up and running. So that's what we're going to be working on for a little bit here. Because that it's like one of the best parts of the game right now. So despawn function. So I think it's because skill manager, usability, damage AoE 20. So it remembers. So that's what that's about. And we have a bite attack which is set. I'm not sure why they weren't going after us. Let's go to the alert behavior, which probably needs to be changed a bit. We have a default condition of chase. So I'm a little confused why that wasn't working. So we're going to have to analyze that and see what we can do in terms of fixing it. Not really sure why that was bugged out. I don't. We didn't test if we don't have any skills and we just have the default skill if it causes issues. So maybe it's something to do with that. But it says skill info object, get current skill struct, right? And the current skill struct is set, and if we don't have any, if we... It should do... If there is no... Yeah, if there is no skills, it returns the default. So it should work. So let's go to the jungle behemoth. This one's going to be a little more annoying to fix because this is a boss. So it's he had like 4 attacks. One of them was just like a bite. So let's add saving failed. Check the console window to get more insight into what needs to be fixed. What? Saving failed. You were trying to replace or create a prefab from the instance that references a missing script. Oh. Saved. Okay. Interesting. There we go. So that was because I changed something and it no longer... I can't remember what it was, but it was a script that we had that we removed later. Let's just start with a default skill. I gotta open up his folder because I can't remember exactly what all his skills did. That's character dialogue. I don't even think we use that anymore. Wait, what? Now I'm getting confused. Enemies, there we are. Bite Bloom. The Behemoth, so that's his stat card. And then we have Bite Attack, Breath Attack, Surround Attack, and then the False Attack. So the False Attack is the one where it opens him up to being having the bomb thrown in, and you can see, like, because I edited all this, the animation clips are all missing, which is annoying, but you know, it is what it is. So we'll go into his animation manager, open up that. Oh, it was over here. Gonna open up that animation window here, and we'll find the 3 spells here. And I'm actually gonna lock that inspector here so we can navigate a little bit faster. And just open up this one, and we'll see the bite attack. Lock that in. Grab bite from here, drag it in over here. Unlock it. Scroll all the way back. Breath attack. Lock this. Grab the breath attack. Throw it in. Unlock. And the locking and unlocking is just so this stays up when we click things. And we get the surround attack. Click on this to find it fast. And then one last false attack. And this is just the breath attack, but nothing comes out of his mouth. So hopefully all these settings don't need fixed as well. I didn't check that. It's going to be hella annoying. Close the art pack, open this up again, and just have a quick look. Yeah, Poison Breath's all set for those two, so we don't need to change those. Perfect. So we can get rid of that. Going to save again. And what we're going to do is click on the Behemoth, and we're going to add 4 attacks. 3 in here, and then 1 as the default. So the default will always go off. And that's just going to be the bite attack. And the skill info object will be, we'll lock this in. Will be the bite attack. Really easy. So that just has all the details about the attack window for when the damage collider goes up, and then here I can show it. The animation, the skill sound that we don't have set anymore, the cooldown, the modifier for the damage type, the combo window, when they can be interrupted if they can, and what kind of skill it is, and if it's ranged, if it spawns anything, and all that stuff. And then the damage colliders are just going to be the mouth, which we have. I believe it's the... Where the hell is the collider? Oh no. Oh, that is cursed. Yikes. No, it must be in here. Okay, okay, holy shit. There's a whole thing down here. It's gonna be in here. There's the attack box. Damn, I thought I was gonna have to redo the whole bloody attack box. It's not that difficult, but it's annoying because it's got to be sized. Right? So you have to size it perfectly, and it has to be placed in the middle there. It's not like annoying. No, it is annoying. It's not like a lot, but it's annoying. And we have to keep that open actually, because we have to add this to several other skills. Okay, so then we'll add let's add them in order. You can see how this like quickly gets cluttered. So breath attack, so I actually meant to add that to the top. Breath attack, AoE breath, the surrounding one, and then the false one. Then we have to add the explosion spawn point, I believe. Oh no, that's just added as So the way this boss works is there's an explosion bug catcher. And this skill manager needs to go there. And what it does is when anything enters, when he does a specific attack, which is the bite animation, this collision box, this is a different than the attack box, becomes active, and it looks for specific enemies called the explosion bugs. And if they hit this area, the explosion bugs get recycled, sent back to their nest spawner, and put back into respawn queue. But they disappear, and then he activates an animation that spawns an explosion at the explosion spawn point. So it makes it look like he swallowed the bug. So we just have to reset all of this and then test it again. So the breath attacks, they have the same damage colliders as everything else. So if the player is way too close, they're still going to get hit. And then we got to add the projectile spawn. So that doesn't happen for this one. It only happens for the breath attacks. And this is just where the breath attack comes from. So the poison mist type of deal. And that is our projectile spawn over here. And that's roughly in his mouth. So you can see it clicked here. It's at the back. So all that poison stuff comes out. So we want to say false breath. Which it's really like a roar. Breath attack. And we'll call this AoE breath attack. And this one will just be breath attack. And then with the new system, we get to add conditions. So we're just going to add the randomizer condition for now. So we'll give it like the probability, 50% probability. And the way, if I remember how we coded this, you essentially get a number between 1 and 100 if you have one of these. And then the number, if it's, hold on, let me just find this. If the number is, if you have a probability of 50, we generate a random number between 1 and 100. And if the number is between 0 and 50, you've got to land. If it's between 50 and 100, it's not. So you don't get to do the attack. And then when you have like 3 attacks of probability 50, I'm pretty sure we coded this in. It adds all of the probabilities together. And then it goes through them iteratively. So you get a number between like 1 and 300, and then it checks the beginning. Actually, I can't remember how we did that. I'm gonna double check that, just in case I skipped over it. So here we change skill, so we have the attack priority. It adds up the probabilities, and then we get a range, and then we just keep adding into that range. How did we do it? Pretty sure I changed that. So I'm breathing into the mic. Check if conditions met. The probability struct. Oh no, I think we changed it now so that it just goes down the list. So it checks this one. If it doesn't land, it goes down here and then down this way, which I probably not as good as the way before. Where's the probability one? Yeah, so that's how it works now. So I'm not actually a fan of that. That needs to be checked a little bit better. But it does give us a bit of probability. So these 50% one, because we have it that way now, we might want to change that to have a lower percentage. 50 is pretty high. So the chances of him using the false attack is really low. What would it be like? It's been a while since I took a statistics course. It's like 50% chance that this doesn't go off. So then this one is also a 50% chance, but because it has to pass this one, it's now like a 25% chance, which means there's like a 12.5% chance he'll do the false breath. It's something roughly like that. So we might want to have like 25% chances up here. So they stack downwards. I think I'll have to change that in the future and just add up all of the skills. It's just that since we switched to this conditions based one, it's kind of made it a little annoying. And we'll save that, and we'll see if it works now. I definitely like the probability method before, but now it's just like with the conditions, we have to kind of give it some leeway, or like some rather we have to change it a bit. And it still works. It's just that we have to do the math if we want to have it like a certain percentage, because they're all in relation to each other now, rather than being bundled together. But on the bright side, that allows us to do things like have probabilities, but like other conditions like distance. So like they won't even get like registered if they're not in that distance. So it'll just move on to the next one. So it's like multiple different priority chances depending on a set of conditions. Is it optimal? I do not know. Probably not. Okay, so these guys are not going to bite anymore. Curious. So maybe if they'd only have one skill, it doesn't go off, but that's not how we program that. Interesting. Let it respawn. There it blew up, and then it set those things on fire. The explosion damage is an AoE. This guy's not supposed to be moving. I have screwed that up. We'll just grab him right now and fix that real quick. The reason for that is his default movement is different now. It's not based on his schedule. It's based off of this. And we want that to be a rotate towards. So hopefully that fixes him. It looks a little weird with his movement, but we'll fix that in the future. And I don't know why they're not attacking. Oh, I know why, because their animations aren't set. Okay, that's broken still. Makes it easy to test the pickup. His attack distance is also way too short. Not sure why that is. Increases interact distance. It's not doing his explosion. The whole thing got destroyed. So let's open up the bug catcher and let him do his attacks, and we'll see if the breath attack turns on the spear collider. It does. You can see it only turns on when they do specific attacks. And we see that we get a good chunk of variety in the attacks. The bite only goes off when all the probabilities fail. We're not getting a lot of the false breath, though. That's an interesting... There we go. So ideally, we'd maybe make those other ones 25%, so there's a higher percentage. So that's definitely working. There we go. So he went up, it blew up. I think it was a little... I think it needs adjusted. He took the damage. Perhaps I was not. There we are. And that's him defeated. So it is working. It was just a little glitched out at the start there. I'm not entirely sure why that was. But we'll make sure we change his default movement first to rotate towards the target. I don't really like how it looks when he's rotating because it makes it look like he's moving because of the animations moving this part. So I don't. We won't be able to apply an avatar mask onto him, I don't think, because he's not a humanoid. Unless there's some custom way to do it. I mean, there is, but I don't. I'd have to figure that out. We'd have to define what bones of the rig are affected. So we'd have to go like through all of this shit and label, or all of these ones rather, and label all of the legs, and just keep the torso from animating. Got to do it. You got to do it. We'll put it on the back burner though, because that's gonna be a quite an annoying thing. So here we see that it's that they don't have the animation. So a lot of the enemies we're gonna have to go and set that. So we'll just grab the bite attack. They actually have a breath attack as well. Interesting. I should have actually grabbed this. Got it there. And then went up here. Where is he? The FPX, bite attack, and throw that in there. That should be fixed now. I'm curious what their breath attack looks like. Didn't realize they had a breath attack. Bite, breath. This one. And we can see it over here. Just a simple one. Might be something to add later, just to give them some more depth, some more interaction. Yeah. So I guess I just have to test that again right now. Figure out if there was an issue with, maybe because he moved, the collision box got screwed up or something. I don't know. That can't be the reason. I'm not sure. It just didn't work the first couple times. Maybe we missed it. I think I was throwing with the lock-on activated. That could have altered the course and just made it appear as if it hit the box. If that's the case, we might have to move or increase the size of the box, because that's the camera angle the player will be most likely using. So we don't really. One of the things is, like, you don't really, like, accuracy is great and all, but it's really like how the player perceives it that matters the most. So even if it's not like how we want it to be in terms of like getting the thing right in here, as long as it looks like it's there, that's the most important. Should be fine though. I'm pretty sure the angle made it look like it was matching up. Just cut this grass. Gotta gotta maybe block first when he attacks and then pick him up. There we go. A little harder to pick up now that they're defending themselves. That interact range still needs fixed. Okay, I hit him with a bomb, but that was not when you hit him with the actual bomb. With, like, when he eats the bomb, it hits him a lot harder than if he just gets hit by it. So we can go into his character manager, and we can see that he still has like most of his health. In fact, I could probably just lock onto him, and you can see, yeah. So we're gonna switch this interact distance to like 7. Still a little bit confused why that got reset. So 7 is like here. So we just want to see how far his bite is. if he does it. Yeah, so this needs to be like maybe like 5. And then or we have to switch the actual attacks. Yeah, see there he hit me. Let's just keep it at 7 for now. And we'll try to throw this in when he's doing his breath attack. There we go, it worked. I think the explosion parent needs to be lowered a bit. And that was laggy. Or like, that was a weird... Okay, hold on. We need the heal. Bugs almost got us. And once we get that drench effect, you'll actually see that the character's getting wet. We do have the effect, it just isn't visible. So water heal we'll be adding. There we go. And then the plant is dead. Might switch out that blinking in and out for something else. It is fire damage, so I might make... Once I make the fire death information, I want it to be like if you burn a plant, it dies with fire. He's not supposed to respawn. Why is he respawnable? That's a mistake. I want to make it so that if you kill certain enemies with certain things, they don't just blink in and out of existence like the rest of them. They will burn out of existence if they're a plant and you use fire damage. That kind of shit. But that is all tested. That works again. So fixed. So game over glitch has been fixed. So that's another thing to cross off the list, and then just testing out those. 40 minutes after 8. So let's see. I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna get a beverage, and then I'll be back, and we'll work on the... Let's see here. I'm gonna fix another glitch with the character. Specifically, the hitting the E button when we're pulling out our weapon, like locks one of his arms into an animation state that we don't like. So I'm gonna fix that. So I'll be back in like 5 minutes, 3 minutes. So BRB. Okay, I have returned. Just getting my earbuds in and let's get rid of this BRB screen. Okay, let's show the problem. So it's just an animation layer thing. You can fix it multiple ways. But it's a serious game-breaking glitch. So usually we pull out our weapon, put the weapon back. So it's a mouse click for this, interact button to do that. I hit both at the same time. We're broken. This is how we attack now. We thrust with our hips and hope that our stiff arms manage to get the knife up there. We can't enter casting mode with our arms out. So we kind of like hip thrust our fireball out. Not from our hands, but from our groin. So it's not like game breaking, but it's nobody wants to play like this. If we block with our head, which is interesting. Didn't realize that. Oh, these guys are still need setup too. I'm curious if the block works. It still works. And if we block, it actually fixes it. So that's the issue. So in order to fix that, we have to go to the animation set and look at, or sorry, not the animation set. There's a player equipment handler. Tried making that game idea I had in Godot. I don't remember how to make 2D games, only 3D only. Yeah. Tis the problems. I probably wouldn't be able to make 2D games either. At this point, I have to relearn. On the bright side, he can now headbang. Well, only once, yeah. Do those headbangs. Turn his skull into a weapon. And rock out to some metal music. We're gonna go to prefabs here. Player manager. And then there's the casting, not casting, equipment manager. Equipment handler. Add metal music? Hell yeah. Get some sick headbanging going. So the way that this works is that we toggle into an arm state, and it has, we play the upper, sorry, not the upper, the left and right arm layer index to draw the weapon and shield. So they actually like draw them individually. And then we fade out the animation after it's done. So it returns back to the upper body animation. I don't know if this is maybe a bad way to do this. It's been a while since I made this. But it allows us to overload, or maybe overload is not the right term here, but it allows us to add additional actions in. So we can add these actions in here and invoke them if it's not null. And this is how we do the Kindle sword. I was just going to show that real quick, but we have to reload. So this allows us to like mix and match some upper body animations and onto each individual arm. It opens up the character for bugs, and that's just what's happened here. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to say when they're pulling out their weapons, it's going to disable. So if we do Kindle Sword, he draws the sword and shield, but then he does that animation at the end because it adds it to the event. It adds it to the animation list. See, adds at past the halfway mark. We just add that action and invoke it. So it adds it's a nice little feature. Just that it's kind of, it can get really messy. So I think I'm going to disable the interact key when we play these animations. And the toggling of the arm state is the only one we have to worry about because this is the only one that's animated. These ones down here usually just toggle the weapons on and off. And just for some additional context, the player is actually wielding two sets of weapons. So there's a sword in his hand and there's a sword on his back. And what we do is we just switch between the two sets of equipment when the animation gets to about the halfway point. So as soon as his hand goes back here, this sword turns off and this sword turns on. And then we can store the different levels of weapons that we have. We have 3 levels right now. So you can get like really fancy ass swords. I think we have 3 levels of shields as well. I don't know if I have those set up. I'm curious. I'm pretty sure I do. Yeah, we don't have a level 3 shield though. We have level 2. Which it goes through his hand. Because it's not set up. I just want to see what it looks like again. Yeah, this might be the level 3 shield eventually. I'm not sure. But this is like... That's just how we do the inventory. We just swap out the back models with the models attached to the hand. Based on the different levels that the player's got. So it's more like... it's kind of like... I don't know if that's how Legend of Zelda does it, but in terms of... our upgrading through the different levels of equipment, it's kind of like Legend of Zelda where you just get like a better sword and then that's like... That's it. Like, it just goes up. You can't, like, pull out the old sword or, like, switch your equipment about. I used to have that system implemented, and it just kind of got outside the scope of the game. It used to be that you could equip, like, multiple different weapons and even dual wield. So it just kind of got a little cluttery, and I was like, yeah, maybe I'll simplify this. The villagers used to, like, be able to hunt down enemies as well. It's a pretty crazy time. So to fix this... It's just going to be that input manager. So let's tack this to the bar here. And let's see if we have player input open. Maybe we can find it in player manager. The interact handler. No, we want the input manager. Input handler. And what this is Unity has like a new system that maybe it's not new, but it wasn't here when I learned it. And you have all these inputs, and you just add events or functions to the input. So block input is like set to different keys or mouse clicks or gamepad controls. And then whenever it's hit, it's called started or performed or canceled when it's like lifted. Started when it's pressed and performed when it's like held down. I believe that's roughly what it is, and you just assign functions to it. So block handler is a function that gets called. And what we want is we want the interact key, because I believe it's the attempt to put the weapons back that is causing the issue. So all we have to do is grab interact input and just say disable. So this is actually public. This is the one of the few that are public, because it gets changed a lot. So we can go to here and we can say player input handler, and we can go to our start menu here. Equals get component, player input handler. And we're just going to say player input handler dot interact input dot disable. And then we want to add something at the end that re-enables it. Yeah, because this toggle arm state goes, this is the same function that gets called to put the weapons away. We just toggle the equipment on or off. So if it's already on, it gets turned to false. If it's already false, it gets turned to on. And it just like switches the models around and plays the animation for drawing, or the audio for drawing the weapon. And then if there's an enchantment, it gets turned to false if we're already armed. So if we put the sword, flaming sword, on our back, it turns the sword off instead of burning our back. So what I might do is, it might be better to have like a boolean. Let's just check all these different spots. So this is where we put the equipment away. I don't know if I want to add an event to the end of this, because it could glitch out before we get to the end. And then we could be stuck with no interact input. For example, if like something interrupted this animation before it got to the end, it would screw a lot of shit up, and we wouldn't be able to fade out the animation or draw the weapon. That's probably why it gets stuck in that position, is because we try to like do these twice. So the easiest solution would be, and we can't just put dot interact input dot enable at the end, because this will get called before these do, because we add the event at 0.51% of the animation. So this is a normalized value, which means we get a the time of the animation is done between 0 and 1, which gives us a percentage. So it's if it's at 0.5 normalized time, it means 50% of the animation has gone through. So this stuff gets added in this function, and then it exits the function, and then by the time this goes around, we're like long past this function. That's why we hit E again and it interrupts it. So we just want to disable this until the end. So I'm gonna, this will probably, I think this is gonna open it up to a lot of issues down the road, but we'll see. We'll just get the Animancer component dot layers, anim manager dot get right arm layer index. I'll get the current state dot events dot end event, on end. I think it's on end that we want. And then we can plus equal this function, or sorry, I believe it just equals lambda expression like that. So this is a lambda expression. So you're essentially, the on end is looking for a callback function, so you can add a function to it, much like an event, because it is an event. But what we do instead is we do a lambda function like this, which just defines a function, sorta. It's like a pseudo function. So we can just pass through this statement rather than create a new function that just does this. Because it's one line, we could probably just add that function, but this works. I think this works better. I like it better to do it that way. So we'll see if that screws, if anything. This isn't my favorite solution, but it should work. And I bet you the same issue is going to pop up with the casting state when we enter casting. There, so nothing happened. However, we no longer have the ability to interact. So that function is a bad function. It's not gonna, it doesn't reach here. Or what more likely happens is that this gets overwritten by something. So the animation stops before this event can go off. So what am I to do? This definitely solves the issue. We could try adding it here and hoping that that solves problems. Maybe if you don't get to add the line um if what am I trying to say here? If we get to this point before, maybe it doesn't matter. I think this is the right syntax here. Uh Maybe make this a little bit more readable. Ooh, see, that's the only thing with these lambda expressions is they can get pretty like messy looking. So we'll try to so if we interact when it's done, it started its fade back to normal, maybe that'll fix that. Okay, so that is the wrong syntax. So what is the correct syntax? Oh, it's because of this. Derp. Yeah, so that's what I like about lambda expressions. We're just like defining a function within this. This circle bracket and this line is for this part of it, but we just say like this between these curly braces, we just define these two lines. And I'm gonna shift tab that back. And it just gives us this way to define a function. Like a sorta what does lambda even mean? I think lambda might mean like something pseudo. Store these pages, everything closed on me. When I reset, lambda meaning the 11th letter of the Greek alphabet. A symbol of wavelength or celestial longitude. So that who knows why the hell it's called a lambda expression? Maybe it's the 11th expression that they added. Oh wait, hold on. I gotta look this up. In computer science, lambda is the time window over which a process is observed for determining the working memory set for a digital computer's virtual memory management. Okay. No idea. Sort of makes sense. So I guess it's just like the way it's defined in the program. Because this is like not. So I think what it's getting at is that this is like, because this is not a defined function up here, it's not set in the memory. This is like set in virtual memory because we're defining a function like this. Interesting. So I wonder, this might be like something I should maybe not like spam the shit out of. Maybe that's like an expensive thing to do. There's only so much virtual memory to go around. It seems fine though. It's like 2 lines of code. It should be fine. Only gets called like once. Like at one point. So maybe if you have like a function that's like getting repeatedly called over and over again, maybe avoid the lambda expressions. I don't know. I haven't looked that far into it. Spam the E button. Look at that. First we screwed up one arm, then we screwed up the other. And ironically, like hitting the I key for inventory fixes that. I guess the ironically isn't the right term. Now it's hard to get that to there. So there's a window where we hit the E key and it just screws it up. Okay. So this is a no-go. One way that is annoying that we could do this is we could just start a coroutine that takes the length of the animation that we're trying to play, and then at the end of it, it just enables input. But that's annoying. Fuck, we'll just do it. We'll just write it. I actually like I appreciate coroutines and all the things they do for us, but I find them extremely annoying. Or like sorry, just slightly annoying. Wait for animation. Wait for arm state. And we'll yield return wait for seconds anim manager dot get clip draw weapon dot length. Wait for new seconds, and then at the end of that we'll just call this. So what this does is yield return new, so it'll just keep doing this, and then when it passes his wait for second, it'll go to the next event. So we'll just get rid of that line, and then up here we'll just call start coroutine wait for arm state, and we'll see how that works. I hope I did this right. The length is in seconds. Okay, so that's fine. And we do draw a weapon. So that's this one. They're both pretty similar in time, so I don't think we have to wait for either. And wait for seconds, which is in a float, so that's good. So we don't have to change that. We don't have to worry about that being like an int or anything. That way it's like animation independent. In the terms that we get the animation length, but we don't wait for the animation to complete. So in terms of we're not adding an event to the timeline of the animation, we're adding an event to Unity's system that waits for the length of the animation. So it's only getting that value. It's not like giving a shit. And it's still screwed up. Okay, let's look at that. Maybe we do have to wait for the left arm one because it's screwing up the most. Okay, so why? We start the coroutine up here before we play it. So actually, let's call it after. That might have been the dumb thing, is playing it before. Then it's like a couple of milliseconds, but I don't think that would make a difference. The wait for seconds might be like a really bad idea. Maybe a different function, wait for like such and such. There's a couple different like coroutine functions that they give us that I'm not super like familiar with. Yeah, see, that also screwed up. So that didn't work at all. Why? This must be returning a really bad value. Or sorry, a low value for some reason. Or it's not getting this clip in time. I don't even know. Float duration. Put this through there and just pass in duration. And we'll say debug.log anim time plus duration. Just to see what that's doing. Maybe it's giving us like a bad value. It shouldn't though. It's a very easy fix. Just getting it to like work with our code is the issue, and you got to try a few different things to see what works the best. So anim time is 1. I find it hard to believe that the animation is exactly 1. So what happened? Is the length the normalized time? Animation length in seconds. Yeah, I don't believe that. Wait for seconds. Suspends the coroutine execution for a given amount of seconds using scaled time. And we can see here that these two things went off and we were interacting still. Gonna clear that. Interesting. So there's no issue. But then when we get into the space with the alchemist, suddenly there's an issue. And it's because he's trying to interact with the statue, which is how it should be. So why did we get a bunch of bugs before? Okay, there it went off. I find it very hard to believe that that is a 1 second spell or animation. Gonna open up the animation dictionary. And we're gonna go to draw weapon. And it's the item back animation from who are these from? Crafting Mechanim animation pack from Explosive LLC. And we open this up and we can see that this is like a 30-second animation. Or sorry, 30 millisecond animation. Which is interesting. It says length 1. So that length is what we're getting, but that doesn't seem to translate very well. And I don't believe it says 30 frames per second. I don't believe these represent the frames. But it does look like it. It says frame over here. It seems more like it's. I don't see, that's strange to me. 30 frames per second implies that 1 second has passed when we get to 30 frames, right? But this is supposed to be like the time that passes, and it says 30. I don't believe the number on the left represents the amount of frames, because that's what this number on the right represents. Interesting. Regardless, though, that should mean that we're waiting the right amount of time. And it's working. It was working 90% of the time. Just gonna try adding like a 0.2f. It could be. Oh, it's because we have the we get the clip and then the fade duration. I think that might be affecting it. And then we also start this fade back. So that might be why it's off a little bit sometimes. Stupid Epic Games. What did Epic Games do? I mean, I hear Epic Games does a lot of things all the time, but oh, I know why. I see. I'm thinking about this too much. It's because we have the coroutine activating more than once. Coroutine, uh, toggle, armed state, coroutine. So what we're doing is we want to say this equals that, and we say if is not equal to null. So if it's like started, we say stop coroutine, and we put that in. So this will stop the coroutine if it's already active, and then we'll set it up again. So I believe what's happening is that I'm stacking them. So I'm having it go once, and then this is still going on in the background, and then it's re-enabling it. So that was me being silly. And then what I like to do is I don't think you have to do this, but I just like to set it manually to equal null. Just at the end of this, just to make sure it gets set to null. So this should like override it if we go through this cycle again, and hopefully that fixes our issue. I was using PC when I noticed on the right corner that there is a banner to try out Star Wars Outlaws, a flop of a game, and rather than me pressing to exit Epic Games app so it fucks off, I accidentally pressed to log out. Why log out button is literally above the exit app. Steam doesn't do that. Discord doesn't do that. It's always shitty apps like Epic Games. Yeah, that's some bad design. So the exit is like right above the logout, or the logout is right above the exit. Damn. Yeah, that's not an optimal placement. The fuck, we like attacked. Yikes! Now we have a different set of. Okay, so this has unlocked a new level of error. So this works perfectly. So there's no interrupting, but we can attack when we shouldn't be attacking. So I can like do a false attack. Which kind of looks a little cool, but that's not what it's supposed to do. So we fix one error out of the fire into another. You can literally misclick and log out. Yeah, new error achieved, exactly. Yeah, sometimes they just like HUD design, like there's like I had a teacher in college, and his whole like thing was HUD design because it's so important to get right. It's super frustrating when you have a terrible HUD. That professor was based. He I don't know what his accent was. It's like some type of Spanish or something. And this one person was like freaking out at their grade, and they got like a 49, and he's like, "Don't worry, I best you," and he just gave them like 2 points so they passed. And he would call the other teacher his royal baldness. Funny guy. Okay, so now we're having issues with attacking when we don't have equipment. So what we can do is you shouldn't be able to attack either when you're toggling equipment. So let's just make this public. Or let's just disable all input. No. What we'll do is we'll define new functions here. Public void disable action input. You had funny teachers? Funny teachers are the best. Got any good stories? And we're going to add a public void enable action input. So the idea here is what we want to have input that is like, wait, where the hell is, yeah, here. There's going to be input that gets enabled and disabled that is related to actions and related to movement. So move controls will always be allowed. Sprint will be allowed. Block will be not allowed. Attack is not allowed. Jump is not allowed. Jump's not even going to be in the game eventually because it's just jumping is a lot of because if you think about like 3D movement, when you are just moving backwards, forwards, left and right, you're kind of 2D movement. You can fall off things and climb up hills, but when you add jumping, you're suddenly adding like a third dimension that you have to account for because you go up and down, so you can leap over things. So you kind of like leave the 2D plane up, and then you can jump down on another point in the 2D plane. Friend showed that he bought alcohol for his dad, so teacher just started pretending that he is drunk. It was funny because he's British with the accent and all. Nice, nice, nice. Yeah, British accents, they can pull off the drunk accent pretty good. Same with Irish people. I think they say and my dad's Irish, and when I told him this, he was like, "What?" They say like Irish accents and some of the British accents around there have a sing-songy type of tone to them when people want them to. Obviously, like not all the time. So when they pretend to be drunk, it has that really like the inflections. I guess it is. I've just heard this. I don't know. But my dad's got an Irish accent, so when I told him about that, he's like, "What?" I guess to put that, they sound uh better, like not better when they're no, like how to put that, when they're drunk, their accent is like it's very sing-songy, like it sounds nice. My friend says what in a very similar way. What? Yeah. I really like the British accent's really nice. Same with Irish and Scottish. I unfortunately did not inherit either of the accents, but my family has them. So my grandma's hard of hearing, so she'll be like, "I can't hear you. I can't hear you." So we're gonna. I think that I'm going to disable the lock on input because that kind of puts us into combat. No, that should be fine. Inventory and interact. Oh wait, hold on. That's the fuck. What am I doing? So we want to disable actions. So we disable jump, disable interact, disable attack and block, disable inventory, lock on, and lock on is acceptable. Sleep input is not. These two does. You can pause and open the journal. Camera mode's disabled. Cycle target's disabled. No, we don't need to disable that. Casting mode is disabled. So there's our disabled ones. And we're just going to copy all of these and put them in here as enable. This way we just like destroy any interaction that can fuck with the upper body avatar layer. I met my uncle's girlfriend and she told me that I sound very British. Oh, right on, right on. So you've adapted the British accent. How long have you lived in like the UK? Like pretty much, yeah. Right on. Yeah, I've heard that like when people move, they usually like take on, not all the time, but a decade or so. So yeah, so you've probably taken. Um, I think it depends like how old you are when you move. If you're like younger, and you move to a new country, you usually adopt the accent. But if you're older, it's like usually don't. Like my mother came over to Canada when she was like 2, so she has no Scottish accent, not really. But my dad was like I think 16 or 18, so he has like a half kind of accent. Like, I mean, I guess it's I don't really notice it because I'm so used to it. But yeah, usually you just like I guess because like younger people hang out with more younger people who are like socializing more often, and older people get all like, I already know everyone I need to know type of deal. And it's like that's a Tom Segura joke. The I already know everyone I need to know. Tom Segura is funny. Where's the? Okay, so we're gonna disable action input, and then we're gonna say enable action input. And that should all be the same. Cheap viewers on, okay, unchallenged portières. Portière? What is a portière? I am so adept at English that I can explain complicated concepts to native English speakers. Speakers? Ban. They'll leave eventually. Well, actually, they probably already left. How fast did they leave? Yeah, they're gone. They just come here, they drop their shit, and then they're gonzos. And they always have a new name. Unchallenged portière. It's actually become kind of like part of the stream to just like be fascinated with the different names they choose. I wonder if they've like done some type of study to be like, yeah, people are less likely to ban us and more likely to click if they think our names are funny. Yeah, your English is pretty good. Like, well, I mean, I don't see like a flaw in your English at all. So your English is, I mean, at least you're typing. Can't really tell with the vocalizations, but I'm assuming. Okay. The only thing now is there's like a small delay when we pull out our weapon. And I took away that point too. So that's kind of annoying, but maybe if we put this a little bit earlier. Like I had it up here before, but maybe if we just, let's put it back a little bit. See if that like lines up a bit better. Cuz I don't like like I want the player to take out his weapon and just fucking hack shit to pieces instead of just having to wait like 0.2 seconds for their actions to re-enable. Pulling out your weapon should immediately be a reactionary, like you're in kill mode. Or you're preparing for kill mode. But when you like a lot of the cases you're just gonna pull out your weapon. And I might in the future make it that when you pull out your weapon you just automatically attack. Yeah, see that's a little there's a delay there. Because in the Legend of Zelda, when you pull out your weapon, you attack. That's how you pull out your weapon. But I wanted to give the player the option to just like get their stuff ready. So they're not like doing this in the thin air. So what we can also do is we can minus this. Like try just like a little bit let's do like 0.1. Just a little bit of a reduction in the duration because I don't think it's going to matter. I don't think it's going to matter if this goes off. I think it's just like the fade duration. As long as the fade goes off, it should be fine. We'll do some testing. The 0.1 on a that's like going to be if it's 1, that's like 10%. And we can't test this when the statue's there because it causes us to interact. So that's a little bit better. Try 0.2. That's like a 20% reduction. So that's still past that 0.51 and it gives it a chance to fade. So let's just hope that works. Just like spamming both buttons at once, trying to like break it. I think we successfully fixed the bug. The only thing is even with like 0.2, it kind of I mean, it's not that like as soon as the arms go down, they get ready to attack. It's not terrible. So that's fixed. We'll call that fixed. And before I forget, we gotta mix that with the casting animations and stuff because there may be an issue with the casting. The same type of issue, and we have the tools to fix it now. I'm not seeing any errors. But we might do. Okay, so if you hit Q, it resets the charges, so it fixes that. Okay. Okay, so I think we've completed fixed the state machine. Sleep is still bugged. We have to fix sleep. It's a little bugged, but that fixes that. Okay, excellent, excellent, excellent. So that's a good about like those are some good bug fixes, and now we know that we have this is a good function that we created, disable and enable action input. That's a good function to have. So we can use that elsewhere. Let me just see if I can clean up this code somewhere. I think this is pretty damn good. This point 2, like I could try point 3 or 2F or 2.5 rather. Maybe that will work better. I think it's pretty damn good. Yeah. Okay. What time is it? It's 9:31. Not really anything here I can finish within the next half hour. Not really. So I'm gonna probably I'm gonna end the dev stream here, and because I still have to figure out what game we're gonna do. I have a couple options on the thing. I want to do the Toy Story 2 PlayStation version. Oh, I forgot to look up the remake for that. The one you were saying about that was in Unreal. I forgot to look that up. I want to see that. But we did A Bug's Life and it was fucking awesome but terrible at the same time because I forgot to save. Or rather, I refused to save and I didn't use save states. And then at the final boss, 30 seconds before the end of the boss, we lost. Like maybe, sorry, like a minute before we got the bad guy to the top. I got killed and lost all our lives. And the game does that thing that old games do where it resets the console. So Flick died. So Flick is just dead. That's the canon of that gameplay, of that stream. Because it resetted the whole thing and I didn't have a single save. So we had to start over from the beginning. And I was like, no. The Toy Story 2 is the remake being made by fans. Right. Forgot to mention that. Yeah, it's a fan remake, right? It's on Unreal. Yeah, I definitely want to see what the fans have done. Because, sometimes the fan remakes are, dare I say, a bit better than what they try to do in corporations. Like that, because they're so passionate about it. They never get made into full games, really. More in tune, yeah. They understand what about it. Because made by fans, yeah. They understand because they're like, they're part of it. Whereas the corporations are like, well, we have to make a profit. So they're just telling people to say, like, hey, get this done. So yeah, I'm going to end the stream here. I'll be back in, like, maybe 20 minutes because I'm probably going to have to download some stuff. And we have Beast Wars and Toy Story 2 to get to. But I'm probably going to do Toy Story 2 because I think I can beat that pretty fast. And then we'll get to Beast Wars probably. I've never played Beast Wars. Just, it's been recommended. All right, so thank you all. Play Hyper Light Drifter. I haven't heard of that one. What is that? Hyper Light Drifter. Oh wait, I've seen this. Oh yeah, that's a fun game. I should maybe I will play that at some point. There's something about this game. This is an indie game, right? There's something. What was it about this? There's something about this game that was like really interesting that people were talking about. In the game scene. It's like it's a really good game. I haven't played it yet, so I'll add that to the list. We'll get around to that eventually, because I want to. I forgot what that game was called, so thanks for bringing that up. I wanted to play that. Hyperlight Drifter. I saw someone review it, and it was made by a guy who has a heart problem. So it was made by like one dude. Interesting. How long is it? Let me see that. How long to beat? Let's see how long that takes to beat that. Hyper Light Drifter. 7.5 hours. Interesting. And it is on PC. Cool. Okay, cool. Oh, and the developer's called Heart Machine. That's interesting. That's cool. More or less. Yeah, yeah, that's a yeah. I definitely want to play that. Thanks for bringing that game up. I'll put that on the list. So what I'll probably do then is I'll beat Toy Story tonight, and then try to beat Beast Wars. If we can beat them both, I have 4 hours, so we'll see what we can do. And then tomorrow, I'll either beat Beast Wars tomorrow, or we'll try a Hyper Light Drifter. All right, so I'm gonna end the stream here. Thank you all for hanging out. Thanks for chatting in the chat, and I'll be back in probably like 20 minutes with Toy Story 2, and we'll play through that. So yeah, thanks for hanging out, guys, and cheers. We'll see you guys in the next one, or see you next time. See you in a bit. All right, sounds good.